Welcome back, listeners, to another episode of BizBlend, where we explore the crossroads of business, mindset, but the most important, human connection. As always, I'm your host, Sana, and today for this episode, we are going to dive into a topic deeply that challenges how we see ourselves at work and in life. And to help me with this conversation is a guest who is founder and CEO of ITCMD and host of the Multiverse Leadership and Technology podcast. Listeners, meet Justin ITee Walker. He has more than 20 years of experience in IT and cybersecurity, and he has built a career which is centered not just around technical expertise, but also on leading with empathy, growth, and purpose. And for this conversation, we'll be exploring what it means to move beyond just the job titles and the fixed roles, but to become someone who leads with service, curiosity, and impact, not only outside the office, but inside as well. So, whether you are an entrepreneur, a founder, or an entrepreneur, or just trying to redefine your sense of self, I am very confident this conversation will challenge and inspire you to become who you were truly meant to be. So let's quickly dive in. And Justin, welcome to the show. And I'm really, really excited for this one.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here today. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so Justin, this is something that I also personally try to believe in. But then there are so many external conversations, around uh, kind of having our identity sometimes solely attached to our job title. But it can, also feel nearly impossible when society often equates identity with your career. I mean, if I say that I'm the CEO of this company or I'm the senior executive manager and blah 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 of this company, then there's definitely an organic or a very by default respect, subconsciously, unconsciously. So, how did you personally shift away from that mindset?
Yes, I will say this too. There's definitely a time and place for titles, but about 90% of the time, it's just one of those things that's kind of hindering us from connecting with the people on a human level. Now, my journey into this has been quite an extraordinary one. That I had to first learn about how about self worth and to lead myself and to understand really who I am, what I value. And I had to learn to value myself because people try and command respect with their titles, but you don't command respect, you don't ask for respect, you show people how to respect you by how you show up for yourself. And I found, and I'm still learning this to this day, that with many people in the world, yes, they live up to they have these titles, they hold them so dear to themselves, but
Mhm.
they detaches themselves so much from actually being able to help someone else out, meet them where they are, understand who they are as a human being, understand that us as humans are helping run these companies, you know?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That's true. And because I believe strongly believe, Justin, that more than why is that or how is that, what to do, it's more about the personal, the shared, the lived experiences. So, a bit of a personal question. I mean, was there any specific moment or a realization, uh, or a turning point when you realized that you were more than just the it or the IT person?
Yes, there was. Now, this kind of takes me back a little bit to 2023, where I actually overdosed and died, but was able to come back to life and had a voice speak to me, tell me that my journey is not over, that I have work to do. And from that experience, that helped me learn and understand what it meant to kind of lead myself, how to respect myself, how to show up for myself. And doing that, I had to learn how to build systems in my life that help me show up, such as fitness, such as going through therapy and healing, because the way I was showing up was very unhealthy. I mean, I had to die because I was so unhealthy. So I really had to figure out how to change things around. It looks different for everyone, but kind of forward to right now, going through that therapy and going through that journey and doing the fitness, doing the work, being showing up for myself, just doing things step by step each day, and help build self confidence in myself to realize what I'm worth, what I'm capable of, what I can do, and what I can offer others. And in doing that, I learned that how I interact with people changed. You know, I wasn't just so reactive to people like, oh, why are you talking to me like that? Oh, I don't care what your title is. You know, I had that mindset, but realizing that from me changing the way I showed up and talked to people really changed how they interacted with me. And I was able to kind of change that interaction and get more, I guess the word is I was talking earlier about the respect, you know, respect myself, I respect them, then we respect each other. But it's been a long journey of just trying to figure that out.
Oh yeah, that's I
Not easy.
yeah, it's not easy.
Some days you don't want to do anything. Some days you're angry, you're mad. Other days you're happy and excited, you know? And it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, after all, we are all humans, so yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. We have to remind ourselves of that. We forget, like I forget that sometimes. I forget that I'm talking to another human being. I don't know what they've been through or what happened to them or what healing they've done. I just know that they may be in pain. I don't know what's going on with them. All I can do is be me and show up for me to show up for them.
Hmm. Um, Justin, h- you have said that before that service, uh, and learning should come first. So what does that look like in real life? You know, when it's kind of a hard line, like deadlines are there, then about the culture, office politics, and also competing priorities when they are at play.
Yeah. So the thing with that is I mentioned earlier how you show up for yourself and where you are in your healing process really makes a difference to what companies you're attracted to what tribe you're attracted to. So what I mean by that, if you haven't done any work on yourself and you're still reactive and you're scared, you don't know who you are, you're gonna find employers and jobs that are kind of within that same realm. It's like you find have a toxic relationship. That doesn't just go with a significant other that goes with an employer also.
Yeah.
So when I say that, and if you have that relationship with the employer, more than likely, that's how the meetings are gonna go. That's how the conversations are gonna go. No one's gonna listen to you or take you seriously. So once
Mhm.
you've done the work, you may have to find a different place to work so that you can find a place that fits who you are now, not who you were then. And that's something very important for people to understand because if you don't, and relates back to your question, it's really hard to have an impact and get people to listen to you and find all those day-to-day tasks, things that you don't want to do because you start breaking down, you start losing yourself, you get stressed out. You think people are yelling at you, but they're yelling to you about the task at hand, and you just take everything so personally. Sometimes you have to get away from those environments. And there are employer environments out there that are healthy. And you can also take on that task once you've healed yourself to a point, and you can start building that within your own culture, having these conversations. Now, if they don't want to talk to you and they shoot you down, then may not be the right cultural fit for you. I could go on about that, but I'll stop there.
Yeah. I can understand that. I can understand that. And that is true. I mean, that is powerful because it shows how much mindset can shape outcomes even in high pressure environments.
Ah, it's scary out there sometimes, you know? Especially I'm in IT, so a lot of the times there's very high pressure. You got like people like, I need my computer fixed. I need this done. Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you answering your phone? And you really have to just take a step back for yourself. Be like, I'm here. I'm showing up. How may I help you? And kind of ignore what they may be going through to a point so you can help them get on with their life and their workday.
Mm. And also, just in a bit of uh, you know, a more of a nuanced question here.
Yeah.
Um, isn't there a risk of being taken advantage of if you're always prioritizing service and growth over your formal role? I mean, traditionally it is perceived, like um, um, aspects like intuition or service more coming from an empathetical perspective. It's looked as, it's weak or it's vulnerable, it's soft. uh,
Yeah.
do you think that some people might see that as overextending yourself?
So 100%. I actually used to be that person. I felt that way and went through that. But what it comes down to is like I said earlier, how you show up for yourself. Once you're grounded, knowing who you are, what you stand for, and what you bring to the table, then you show up differently when those things happen in your life. So like for example, you're talking people taking advantage of you. For me, I'm very empathic, I'm very connecting and very healing. And I understand how people are to show up for them. But at the same time, because I know who I am, I'm able to voice myself in a way where it doesn't come off as me being like putting myself in a situation to be taken advantage of. So I can voice up, speak my opinion in a healthy manner that's not aggravating or angry or whining or in a way that people are like, oh, well, it doesn't matter what he says, you know? But it takes a lot of work to get there. And there are going to be people out there that will take advantage no matter what. But what it comes down to is who do you want to be? Who are you as a human being? Because people are going to do what they're going to do out there. There's good and bad people. But it comes down to how do you sleep at night? What are you okay with? You know, I'm not okay with people pulling their titles and say, "Oh, because I'm the CEO, you're gonna do this." I'm not okay with that. And I've actually told people that, and then they've actually kind of be like, "Oh, wait, what?" You know. But you have to be healthy and grounded to have that conversation because it can be a huge risk. You can put your job at risk, but you gotta think, was that really job really worth it though? If I have to be so unhealthy, so stressed out that I can't communicate with them without being in fear of my life or my livelihood, that is hogwash.
And that can sound for a few maybe a bit overwhelming because sometimes situations are like that you don't even have that privilege to be really intentional in choosing your workplace or choosing your team or culture.
Well, I feel you always have a choice. We make choices every day. We always have a choice. We can choose violence or we can choose health. Maybe that's extreme, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you.
Some days you choose violence, but that doesn't always go over very well.
Yeah, that is true. Absolutely. No doubt in there.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about the way forward, Justin, the
Yeah.
solutions here. For someone who may not be familiar with this idea of becoming who you are meant to be, maybe a little intimidating. What do you think are some few steps or approach that they can, start with any kind of mindset shift or any habits or practices that have worked for you and you would like to share with them?
Yes, 100%. No, it is scary. It's painful. It's exhausting. And like, it's not for everyone. But for those who actually want a change in their life and feel they need a change, then there are some steps that I've taken that may not work for you, but you have to understand as a human being, you have to find what works for you. So if you're not doing anything, then try what I've done. I'm going to explain to you and see if it works. But I always say you have to start with fitness. And that what that looks like in the beginning when I first started, I started taking 15-minute breaks at work. Whenever I got a lunch or a break, I would walk on those breaks every
Wow.
time to get out of the chair to start moving. And that comes down to movement. Movement is so important because when you're sitting there all day in the chair and you're just doing one task or two tasks over and over, you're like in this brain, you're like a zombie and you're focused, you're not moving, and it's so unhealthy. So just start with getting up, moving. At one job, I used to every hour I would get down and do push-ups or sit-ups every hour, and I got some of my other employees to do the same thing.
Ooh.
We just did like 5 or 10, just something small to start. And it just really helped us to start feeling better, to give us that energy to start saying, oh, well, I did this. I have this habit now. Let me try something else. But you want to start small because if you start too big, it's not something that you can, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Not something you can, that will last in the long run. If some people, everyone says, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym 4 days a week. I'm gonna feel better." You're not gonna go 4 days a week if you just started. So just starting small and just working up to maybe then going to the gym. That's what I did. I went to the gym 1 day, 2 days. Now I'm going 5 days. But just I feel fitness and movement and mobility is the most powerful thing you can do for your mindset and healing. And there's all other stuff people say, meditation, martial arts, boxing, whatever something you can find that you can do long term. But it starts with fitness, starts with moving.
I love that idea. Because even if it's not some specific focus movement, at least a walk or a quick, cardio or weight, it can really, really make you feel refreshed.
Yeah, people understand that what it does to the mind, the endorphins. Like if you were standing, do like 5 jumping jacks. All of a
Yep.
sudden you have this like energy, you're like, "Ooh, I feel amazing." You know,
Yep.
that
That's
little,
true.
that little bit. That's that little bit. Start small, tiny little steps. And you'll be amazed what you can achieve in a day, a month, a week, a year, you know?
Yeah, totally, totally.
You just have to start. You just have to start. Sorry.
No, no, nothing. And you are absolutely right, Justin. It doesn't have to be like, um a 90-minute or a 3 month, this num you know x number of weight kgs have to be lost or something like that. It can be started with very small steps because um sometimes when we are kind of pressurizing our bodies and minds to get into a particular habit that's kind of changing our routine, it can be really overwhelming, and then it's kind of our mind begins to think, okay, maybe let's take a break today and then I'll go to gym tomorrow, or I'll go for running tomorrow.
You won't
And
do it
then
tomorrow.
exactly, exactly. So I think starting small baby steps, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, it can really help you in building that consistency and that habit.
It really can because I started off by trying to do the unachievable, 90 days, 4 days a week. It didn't work. I failed every time. I felt like I failed myself. But I was just saying it the goal too high without building up to it first.
Like, and just in if our listeners they would like to connect with you, learn more about your work at ITCMD and also listen to your podcast, Multiverse Leadership and Technology podcast, what will be the best way?
Yeah, so they can reach out at multiverseleadershippodcast.net, or they can find me on LinkedIn and my website, Justin ITee Walker.net. And then you can send me a message, and we'll be glad to have a conversation just to kind of see where you're at, what you need help with, and kind of go from there. Build the relationships. We're really big on building relationships. It's something to be kind of forgotten about. To kind of like all of a sudden, like, oh, you want to buy or sell something? First, you need to build the relationship and see if you guys fit and if you connect well. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Justin, I'll make sure to have all the links in the show notes. And
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much for this frank, raw, very real conversation, reminding us that we are so much more than our job titles. I believe this discussion really highlights that growth not only focuses on just what we are doing, but it's more about on who we are becoming because we are all human beings. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Huh. And to all the listeners out there, if you want to connect with Justin and learn more about his work at ITCMD, just refer to the show notes and go listen to his podcast, Multiverse Leadership and Technology. Just refer to the links in the show notes. And with I would like to conclude this podcast with few words from my end that whether you are working a 9 to 5, you're building a business or figuring out what's next, your identity is bigger than your role. So keep leading with service, curiosity, and purpose, and watch how it transforms not just your career but your life. It will take time, but the results are going to be all about sustainability. So, thank you so, so much for tuning into this episode of BizBlend. I'm Sana, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you.